In this episode of Computers for Complete Idiots, I'm going to show you everything you need to know when servicing an IBM personal computer that is newer than the year 2000. Because if you have a computer that's older than that, you've probably been using computers for a long time. So, I'm going to start with the NetVista series and move on to newer ThinkCenters. So, this is NetVista. An IBM NetVista A305 to be exact, with a mismatched CD drive and not the right floppy drive. But it works. It's like, actually, disk over here. Even though I had two discs right here, I just had to grab this one. I don't know why. You know. Yeah, that's gonna be kind of hard to. You get the point. So, sort of like a floppy disk. You can just throw them around because no one really cares. So, first thing you need to do when opening one of these up is ask yourself, am I smart enough to open this computer, not blow it up? Well, yeah, you can't blow up a computer but just by opening it. So if you didn't know that, then yeah, I have no idea what to say. Edit this out. So, to remove it, they cover one of these NetVistas of the desktop form factors. I suppose I should have made a video about this earlier. Form factors, good lord. There is three different form factors that I can think of at the moment. That is tower, desktop, and I don't have a small form factor. Oh yeah, small form factor, even though that's not exactly the smallest thing in the world. It's shorter than most computers. Actually, no, it isn't. But you know, small form factor, which is usually that big. I'm not going to cover those because I don't have any IBM small form factors, but I do have towers and plenty of desktops. That's one thing you should know. I know a lot of people, when they see these things, they say desktop PC. Yep, it's a desktop PC. No, it's a tower. That's a desktop PC. Get your things straight, people. Don't call these desktops. Call them towers. Actually, I don't really give a crap. But, whatever. So to get these apart, there's a button right here. A button right here. And occasionally a lock right here. But most of them don't have that because nobody really ever used that feature. So what you want to do is kick your floppy disk out of the way. Actually, I'm going to pick that up before something does happen to it. You want to take your hands, one on each button, your thumbs. One thumb here, one thumb over there, but since I have the other thumb holding the camera, other hand I mean, grab that, pull it up a bit. Over here, do the same. So if you do it with both thumbs, you push them both in at the same time, and pull up and forward. And you just open it up. It opens kind of like the hood of a car, but you can pull it back and up, and move it away, I guess, like that. And now you can service it. So, a few things you'll notice once you're inside the case are the CD-ROM drive, the floppy disk drive, the hard disk drive, the power supply, and the motherboard, and that fan. Usually there's a heatsink on the CPU. That's another video. Even though this isn't an IBM motherboard. In fact, this is a terrible example. Don't know why I didn't just open up that one with a genuine IBM motherboard. Or one of those, but whatever. This is the closest one I had. So we're just going to go over how to pretty much remove components. We're not going over the motherboard, so. Upgradable power supply? Not really. Unless you can find one that. I hate these things. I don't hate them, I just don't like moving around too much. Unless you can find a power supply that has these exact mounts and isn't too long or too wide, then these are not upgradable. Unless you can find one that's a full-size one that has a small enough internals to fit in this, but if you do, that's a bad thing. You shouldn't be buying that power supply. This is a specially designed Delta Electronics, or they could be made by Hi-Pro or one other Chinese thing that you don't really commonly find. But if you find the Delta Electronics ones or Hi-Pro ones, you're safe. They're 185 watts. They'll take any Pentium 4 motherboard you throw in there. Just don't put in a Core i7 and you're good. In fact, you wouldn't even be able to power a Core i7 with this, because honestly it only has a 20-pin connector, a 4-pin CPU connector, no PCI Express connectors, no SATA connectors. It's just a piece of crap. Power supply, yeah. In fact, these aren't even mainboard upgradable, really. Unless you somehow manage to find a Core i7 that only takes a 20-pin connector and a 4-pin CPU connector. But if you do, and you use like IDE hard drives, let's be honest, if you do, good God, time to upgrade. Anyway, so we have the floppy drive. To remove the floppy drive and hard drive, this flips up most times. Come on. And it'll latch on with this little latch here. It's not a handle, it's a latch, okay? Get that straight. And then you can unplug the hard drive. I'm not going to show you the floppy drive because it's useless. And if your cable isn't in the way, like mine, yeah, I had to unplug the floppy drive. Anyway, so the hard drive have this IDE ribbon, the 4-pin Molex that'll say P4 on it. Or if you have a Hi-Pro power supply, it'll have the Pentium. It'll say P, and then it'll have like the Pentium 4, like 4 logo. Yeah, I think they did that as a joke, but you know, whatever. Or to imply that it's Pentium 4 ready. Okay, this is getting nowhere. Let me put down the camera for a second. Maybe I'm a complete idiot. Oh God, that Molex isn't that good. Oh, okay. Now that you've got the Molex connector out, there's 2 blue tabs, one here, one here. Push on those, pull straight up. That's how easy it is to get the hard disk out of one of these. So that's a 20 gig Seagate, piece of crap. So now, you can take those hard drive rails off, put them on any hard drive. There's just a screw there, screw there, screw there, screw there, both sides. Put it on any other hard drive, throw it in there. As long as it's not a SATA drive, unless you're... NetVista has SATA connections, which if it does, you have found a rare computer. And floppy drive, you will not need to use it. In fact, disconnect it and throw a hard drive in there. Actually, I don't even think you can, because it only has floppy drive mounts. But these screws don't really do much. That's just to prevent anyone from pulling it out, because on this side, it has these retention things that most newer cases have for holding CD-ROMs in. You push it in, and it's not going anywhere unless you're shipping it. Then that's when you need screws. But I mean, you know, whatever. CD drive, same as the hard drive. No, actually, no, not at all. 2 screws, one right here, one somewhere over here. Don't flip it up, same thing, but I'm not going to, because that's pretty straightforward. So you'll just, you know what screw it I am. I have to take this thing apart anyway. The IDE cable is going to get caught, so I might as well unplug that right now. And then open it. I guess my Molex also got caught on something. Plugging these connectors one-handed isn't as easy as it looks. So once you have that, you can add a second CD drive. I'll unplug this digital audio cable. Actually, it's not digital audio, it's just audio pass through to the sound card. Anyway, now once this is up, you'll see a screw here. Screw here, you can remove that, but you won't be able to get at this screw, so yeah, grab it. and it usually, there's the cage. You can add as many, no, you can add one CD drive if there's not already one in there. If there's no CD drive in there, you can add 2 CD drives. This one has IBM, no, 48 speed IDE CD-ROM drive. IBM warranty void if removed. That's not even from this computer. It's from, I think, like a PC 300GL or something stupid like that. Okay. Anyway, IBM mounts their fans kind of weird. Watch my other video, last one I did about fans. Yeah, that'll explain that. Otherwise, the more different way of holding cards in, PCI and AGP cards for IBM, and if you have a newer IBM, a PCI Express, but you won't come across that in one of these. Toolless card bracket piece of crap. Not really that much of a piece of crap, but what you do is to add or remove a card, flip it up. Oh, okay. I forgot how these came out. So when it's down, you flip it up, and you pull it this way. And then you can put the card in. Then when you put the card in, you take it, you push it in that way. Crap. Push it in this way, pull it back down again. And you've just somewhat installed your card, and this will rub against the top of your case so it won't open. Very good design. Kind of. Yeah. As for front panel goes, it's exactly the same as most computers. Yeah, I'm not going to go into any more detail on this stupid thing. I have better things to do. It uses standard as hell parts. I mean, except for the power button assembly and the power button connector. It's all standard. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you didn't like this video, then dislike the crap out of it. Create an account. Hate on me. I don't care.